There we go. There's a busy little picture. 2 processors, shovel, yarder. Well, somewhat of a yarder. It's an slow one. I just giving Benny as much heck as giving Ben as much heck as I can about his 071. We had to put a.
What's that? Both of them. The long Allen wrench one. For the top
Yeah. Sorry. Put a tag on our Skyline. I had to make sure they weren't talking to me. He's hung way. Oh, you get to see it come up. Coming up easy, boys. I wish, oh, here we go. Oh, he said, give it to me. Nope. Oh, look at that. Good Lord. Good Lord. That's all the young Edco's got, boys. That's as hard as she'll pull. There's way more lift than we need. Now there that Skyline is now. See it way out there? So actually, it was a good road change. Would have been real fast if it wouldn't have been to the tag. We thought we had enough. We all talked about it and thought we'd be there, but so yeah, this is our last road here, and then we'll jump up and swing over here. Yeah, this ought to be kind of neat having them guys that close. You know, nothing wrong with a little bit of friendly competition. Might actually help both sides produce a little more, you know. Maybe. I'm not saying that they don't produce enough. I'm just saying that, you know, you get somebody that close, especially when we get over here. Get over here and we're yarding the same way as them guys are. I know if it was me and I was on the rigging, I'd be going twice as hard as I could, you know, just to make sure that I did as well, if not better. So I think we need to slack that Skyline down a little bit, boys. It's up there tight. Not tight. We got deflection in it, but shoot, I could come down another 10 feet. When you're hung out like this, anytime, if you can get that Skyline where it's got a little bit of belly in it, what we call deflection, it's so much better on everything. It doesn't. You're not wearing your lines out as fast. You're not pulling as hard on your stumps. You know, just the whole machine. The yarder will pull bigger turns. Everything. It's just deflection is your friend. Keep that in mind, you younger gentlemen. And I mean, you can't always do that. Sometimes you have to have it bone tight just to get it up over the landing. And that sucks. That's where these intermediate supports and lift trees come into play. You know, and part of the reason for that is these smaller yarders, they couldn't pick the Skyline up as tight as it needs to be. So when you pick the Skyline up and you look down, you're like, oh yeah, I have lift. Well, as soon as the carriage gets back there, it's on the ground. So that's where that intermediate support, you know, if you don't rig it high enough, you know, and when the carriage is in, your Skyline's up higher than your jack, so it throws it out. Which, that was a learning curve too. That only took me one time to figure that out. This ain't happening again. But on that 501 Kohler, it had that kickover drum. And that stupid thing had picked the lines up, the Skyline up tighter than any yarder I'd ever been around, having that Yeah, that kickover drum is amazing. Why did we go ahead easy? I don't. That's not competition. That's just handing them the title belt. Get bar. So, anyways, yeah, that Kohler having that kickover drum, they'll pick lines up tight. All right, you guys, I'll get back with you. Okay, so what they did is they laid the lines down and they unhooked the haul back from the carriage, and he shipped the carriage back as far as he could, and then they pulled the haul back up to where it was close to the block, and Dustin had his layout made. He caught the haul back, hooked it into the haywire, and then the haywire comes right back down here to the carriage. So they're gonna hook into it, and they'll pull the haywire up to the carriage, and then pull the carriage into the landing, hook the haywire into the haywire, and then run the haul back the rest of the way around. Once the haul back's in, knock the skyline loose, run it in, hook the haul back to the skyline with the haywire, pull it back, and then when they get back there, he'll hook the skyline up, pick it up, and he already has his haul back there, or his haywire hooked to his haul back to pull it back in. That's what you call a slackline road change. Let's see if we can't get us another turn here. I was hoping I'd be able to get some better video of it. Oh, that kid just wiped out big time. Oh shit. See him sliding down the bank? Oh man, bet that hurt. What the heck's he doing? Why the heck would you be climbing up right there anyways? That's kind of silly. I heard somebody yell and I looked over. Darn it, I wish I'd had the camera pointed that way. This damn throttle's spiking up. This is the worst air throttle I've ever been around. I'd have to say, as far as yarders go, this one, it vibrates more than any piece of machinery I've ever ran. Ah, too close. Phew, got lucky. Anyway, so yeah, that's what the plan is. I wish I could get in the back in there and get some video of the actual road change, or the slackline road change. Like I said, you've got the haul back hooked into the skyline, and then the haywire is hooked in there too. So when you're shipping it back, you have to keep one, because you have your haul back goes out and back in, and then your skyline and your haywire going out. So you have to keep one line loose and one line tight when it goes back, or else you get a bunch of wraps in it. Normally, and it depends on the yarder too, normally you keep the haywire and the haul back tight and let the skyline belly out, just because the skyline's heavier. And it seems to work out better that way. Now, I have did a steep downhill piece where the only way we could do it was to, I got a wrap. No, I don't. I had to keep, or my engineer had to keep the skyline tight and let the haywire go slack. And what we did was hung a block off the shovel and ran the haywire through that block, and he walked down the road and held the haywire off to the side, so that, because when it got up there, it was wanting to hit the ground, and so even with the skyline tight, I was going to get wrapped. So with the shovel walking down the road, keeping, he walked down there quite a ways, so it kept a 6, 8, 10 foot spread on my haywire and my skyline, so that I wouldn't get wraps, because it sucks getting wrapped. Oh, I heard a haulback whistle. Now we're not wanting to focus. Yeah, Dustin, I don't know any of that, except for Benny, but Dustin's a hell of a good hand, and I know they're very, very pleased with him. So, oh yeah, there goes the haywire and the haulback. Picking it up. Well, I ain't gonna get it zoomed in tight enough, zoomed in good enough. Going ahead on the, oh, there it is. Okay, I thought they had a belly wrap. Okay, go slacken your haul back, go ahead on the carriage. And the reason they're leaving the drop line out like that, so when it comes up tight, the haul back or the haywire falls down in where the actual road line is gonna be. And then when it gets up here a ways, they'll pick the drop line up. It's what we used to call Gilkenheimen the haulback. I don't know why they come up with that name. It was probably a few beers into a crummy ride home when they thought of that one. Dude. Must have, yeah, they just clamped the car. Clamped the skyline and opened the skidding line clamp. Alright, I gotta go. Anyways, just as I was just saying, they got a block hanging off their processor. God dang it. And if you look on the side of that processor there, they got a block hanging on it, so it's pulling the haywire out of the way. But you see them rock trucks, they're picking them up, putting them down, they're double timing it. We just heard on the radio that Gustina has a fire on their property, and them guys aren't only the road builders, they're the firefighters too, so they're double timing it. I'm looking, now that I look out right straight out across from us, it is smoky. Oh man, that sucks. And one of the things about contracting to Gustina, we could get called out on that fire if it's big enough or starts going. As one of their contractors, it's in the contract. You know, when you log for them, you could get called out on a fire. Even when it's cold as it is, we've got a horrible wind, dry east wind. I bet they were burning slash and got away from them. That sucks. It's that's too bad. Nobody, we don't need fires. Never. Fires suck. God, I hate this throttle. God, I gotta get it figured out. I have never had so much trouble with an air throttle as I do this one. That one come a little close. Oh, there we go. But, shoot. I had that zoomed in the whole time, you guys. Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. I had you guys all zoomed in there. All you got to see was my nostrils. But anyways, as I was saying, I think you can still hear it all. Yeah, Gustina has a fire on their property. Well, as hard as the wind is blowing, it could be, but it's fairly smoky over there. That really sucks because it's been dry. Shoot, now like 3 weeks, and when it gets cold, it's even drier because it's getting cold enough that it's freezing, you know, so what moisture is out there, it freezes up at night and then evaporates easier or quicker, so sure hope it doesn't turn out to be something catastrophic, especially, I mean, that's who these guys log for a lot, is Gustina. And they're a good size landowner here in Oregon, second or third. But fire, I mean, shoot, a big enough fire would put Weyerhaeuser out of business. So that sucks. Don't want that to happen. We have enough trouble with the environmentalists and all that, anyways. That we don't need any trouble with fires and stuff like that. I hope it works out best for them. But I think we'll probably just make that our video, or second video for today. You guys stay safe, get logs, huh? Tempo, come on.